Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another problem. Oh, damn it. Another episode. But you know what? We'll find another problem, too. Another episode of the Pretend Problems podcast. I'm Kelsey Cook.
And I'm Mike Ruzioni.
Now, is that one of the players in the movie we watched last night?
It is. Which player?
We
watched the movie Miracle last night. Mike Ruzioni is the player, he's the captain.
Okay.
And so when USA and Canada just played in that new thing they do for the All-Star game, Wayne Gretzky came out as a representative of Canada. Mike Ruzioni came out as a representative of the United States. He was the guy that when they're in Norway, where they're just skating those crushers back and forth, and Herb Brooks is like, again. Everyone's like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, again. He just goes, Mike Ruzioni, wherever he's from, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Who do you play for? The United States of America. With like vomit on his lips.
Oh my God.
I know it was killing you.
I really had a hard time watching it. So I think a lot of us, if you played high school sports, you had a couple coaches that you're like, that was maybe a fireable offense. And Cheney was just like a little backwards in some ways. I told you something we had to do, and I don't know if this is common other places, but we had to do something called boards for punishment, which were, running lines like how the guys were in the movie Miracle, where you're going to a short line, you're coming back to baseline. You're going to half court, coming back to baseline, going full court, whatever. But they took wooden planks and taped towels around them, like duct taped a towel around them, and you had to bear crawl, push the board, and run those lines with pushing a board. And they told you, like, if you look down, you're going to puke. And it's just, a absolute cardio crusher. You would be wanting to vomit almost instantly.
Right. And it's funny that high school kids complain about that because right somewhere right now, there's a 54-year-old at a CrossFit gym doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
No one told him to.
It was very OG CrossFit.
He's
you're right.
just doing it. They had a thing in Fergus Falls called the Dirty Dozen, where it was like during basketball tryouts. Okay. These guys would have to run, they called them otters, but it's baseline, free throw line and back, half court and back, opposite free throw line and back, baseline.
Right.
And you had to run that in under 30 seconds or it didn't count for the whole group.
Oh,
Every single person running had to run that in 30 seconds or it didn't count. Then you got 30 seconds to rest. Then you did it again 12 times. Every year you would hear people going like, oh my God, don't go in the locker room. There's barf everywhere.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It's so insane. I remember we had at a high school basketball game, I think it was a game we missed a lot of free throws. And so our coach, the next practice, made us shoot free throws. And if you did not make 2 free throws in a row, everybody had to get on the line and run lines or do boards. And, we're like in tears by the end. People are puking. And my mom walked in at the end because like practice is running long, and my mom saw it. And the coach got such an earful from my mom. My mom was like such a Karen, would get right in somebody's face. This should be illegal. This is child endangerment. Whatever she was saying. Like, I was so embarrassed, but I was also kind of like, thank you, because we're dying.
Next thing you know, you show up and all the parents are running boards. Because like, well, okay, she fucked it up for everybody. Parents on the line again.
Oh my God. It's a hard part of that movie to watch, and it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Well, I like it because I believe that right now, right? Somebody misses 2 free throws and you don't make them run a crusher or an otter or whatever they're called. You just go, tell me how you're feeling about missing that. Nobody gets better. That's why it's like we're fucking going like this. And this isn't even political. This is like, so I believe that we started our downfall when teachers had to stop hitting kids. I don't think a teacher should be able to just beat the shit out of a kid for no reason. But now you see videos online of people just going up and slapping the teacher, and they have to sit there and they're like, okay, because they know every phone is out, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Or in a lot of cases, like that kid could beat the shit out of the teacher.
Right.
This is like an 18-year-old young man.
Right.
who's on the football team and could destroy this guy that was like, I like American literature so much, I'm going to teach it. Yeah. I'm going to change lives. Right? And so you get just like slapping these teachers. And it's like, God damn.
Yeah.
You should be able to throttle a fucking kid. I'm not even saying hit him back. I'm saying once you got him on the ground, teach the rest of these fuckers a lesson. This could be you. Just kicking teeth out. I mean, of course not. Everybody knows that loafers don't kick teeth out, but you get what I mean. It's like there just aren't consequences anymore.
Yeah.
Especially online, but even in person at school. That's crazy. Maybe I've said this on here before. When I was younger, in 7th grade, we had a teacher called Mr. Mittberg. Mm-hmm. And if you talked in his class, he would make you put a pacifier in your mouth.
That's awesome.
I know.
Good for him.
But then he got in trouble because some parent came in and was like, well, you know what? Kids should be able to tell you how they're feeling in the middle of class when you're lecturing. I know you're in the middle of teaching the rest of the kids, but let's find out what Eric had for lunch. Like, no one gives a fuck. Right. And so you should be able to do that. And I just think it's like that's kind of what happened. There's no consequences. Everybody's soft.
Yeah.
Everybody's real. And I'm a big feelings guy. You know that. I'm a big get your feelings out there, but when appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone has to have all the feelings all the time.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there are, just like anything else, there's a time for it. Mm-hmm. Right? Except drinking. That's all the time. There's always, every second of the day, you should be drinking alcohol. I miss it.
I miss it too. We're both coming up on our 1 year of sobriety.
That's right.
And we do both miss it from time to time.
Truth be told.
Can I tell you about a woman who I think was raised without rules because she came to my show and acted like a feral alley cat?
I would love it.
I called you after the show to tell you about this because I was.
Oh, this is Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City.
Okay,
a little shaken up. I want to say most of the crowds in Oklahoma City were fantastic. So fun, big laughers, very respectful, well behaved. And then I hit a snag with one of the shows. I find out later. So there's a woman in the front row. She came by herself. I find out later she is texting through the entire feature acts set. Mm-hmm. And then, but I don't know that when I go on stage because he didn't know if he should say something. He didn't know if that would upset me or something. So I get on stage. I look down. This woman, front row, just openly texting, not even trying to hide it, just sitting there on her phone. I get maybe 5 minutes in and I go, love how there's a woman in the front row just openly texting. And then she like realizes I'm talking about her. We make eye contact and I'm like, you good? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you cool to not be on your phone anymore? And she goes, probably not. And it like fembotted my brain where I like kind of short circuited.
What's
was
fembot?
Like from Austin Powers.
Oh, never mind. Yep. Beg your pardon.
Because any other time in my life, if somebody's on the phone and you call them out, they immediately get embarrassed because they realize, oh, I fucked up. I'm not supposed to be on my phone at a comedy club. The announcement is made 45 times before the show even starts. Mm-hmm. And they usually just like put their phone away. This woman fully standing her ground with me. She's like, probably not.
Well, it's a stand your ground state.
It is a stand your ground state. And she was like, I'm checking on my kids. And I was like, okay. And then she goes, I didn't come here for free. And I was like, well, yeah, I assume you bought a ticket, which surprises me that you're on your phone the entire time. Like, why did you even come here?
Yeah, then you didn't come here for free? Then why are you acting like it?
Yes.
Enjoy the entertainment that you fucking paid for, clearly.
And if you feel like you need to be checking on your kids the entire time you're away from them, then maybe this is like a watch me on YouTube situation. Maybe this is I don't know what was going on with her kids, but if you feel like you need to be checking on them throughout the entire length of a comedy show, maybe they're too young to leave with a sitter. I don't know what was going on.
Or maybe you should leave see if you can get your knees to touch for more than 24 hours if you have 20 kids.
Wait, what? Explain that to me.
I don't want to.
Okay. Okay.
If the listeners got it, they got it. And if they didn't, let's just keep going. That's a great idea.
Okay. Also, just like if something's going on with your kids, then go to the lobby and take care of it out there. But it's so rude and disrespectful to sit in the front row of a comedy show and be on your phone the whole time. Mm-hmm. And when I call attention to it to make you stop, you just like throw it right back in my face. Like, mm-hmm. I'm probably going to stay on my phone.
May I say something?
Yeah.
No consequences. That's what you said. That's what you started this whole conversation with. I just want to bring it back to.
That's somebody who has, for some reason, they're an adult and have been told that that's fine to be that way in public. And she did, after that conversation, get up and leave, which, everybody starts clapping because people at that point were yelling, kick her out. And it's like, you're in a weird position. You're a million times better at it than me. When you're like, oh, this person's being a dick, then they need to get the fuck out of here. I'm always afraid, like, what if I misunderstood this situation somehow? And I'm like, you can leave. And then afterward, everybody's like, dude, what the hell? I just am so afraid that I'm going to handle it wrong that I was way too nice about it. Way too nice.
Well, here's the thing. I issue more apologies on stage than I am correct when it comes to like hecklers. Oh. Because I'm always like, I said something in Key West about somebody not laughing, and I go, like, what the fuck's wrong with that joke? Mm-hmm. And then this lady goes, we hate it, from the back. And I go, what do you fucking hate about that joke, you dumbass? Like, then I go into it, and she goes, I meant we hate that person wasn't laughing. And I'm just like, well, let's walk it back 5 whole minutes. And now I have to redo this whole thing. But also, I don't think that was, you yelled the wrong thing.
That was a little bit on her.
Finish your sentence.
That was a little on her, yeah.
So I have a story about phones.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you who it was. You would be amazed, because I don't have permission, that's why.
Okay.
You would be amazed to find out who this is. Clean comedian.
Okay.
Very funny, seemingly very relaxed.
Okay.
And definitely is like pretty well known.
Okay.
We were in Little Armenia doing a show in LA.
Okay.
And these fucking kids would not get off their phone.
Yeah.
And it's 12 of these 20-something guys, right? And they're, the chains and the Armani and the Versace and all this bullshit. Right. Just rich kids. No consequences.
Yeah.
This kid's on his phone and he's actually talking. Like, it's on speakerphone and he's talking.
During a show?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So this dude goes, I'm just going to say wrestled in college, very good at it.
Okay.
But unassuming you wouldn't know it.
Okay.
And he goes, can you get off your phone? And the guy goes, no. And he goes, all right, well, let's make it funny. Let me have your phone. And he's like, I'm not giving you my phone. And all his buddies are like, no, it'd be great. He's going to like talk to the person, make fun of him.
Yeah.
And the kid hands him his phone and he turns and as hard as he could threw it into the brick wall and his phone shattered in 50 different pieces.
Oh my
50 different pieces.
God.
And I stand up and fucking pull my sleeves up because I think like, this is it. And there are other guys there too. It's not like, well, me and this guy can take 20 guys on. Not at all. That's not what I mean. But it was like looking around like fucking let's roll kind of a thing, right? And the kid was so taken aback and all his buddies were laughing. And I think that's what saved this guy because I could not fucking believe that he turned and threw it. I laughed so hard after the shock wore off of like, this is going to be a fight.
Yeah.
I could not hold a conversation because anytime I tried to talk about it, I would start laughing uncontrollably. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in stand-up comedy.
That's so wild.
I think this guy
I
think he was having a bad week. Mm-hmm. I think like some stuff had happened professionally and personally.
Okay.
And he was just done. And he goes, let me see it. And the guy, come on, man, it'll be hilarious, all his friends. And he just goes fucking, wah! throwing star into a brick wall.
Oh, that's one of those things. If there was footage of that, that would have been a 50 million view clip.
Right.
That would have been the most viral crowd work clip ever.
But the problem with that is then everyone goes to this guy's show from now on, talking on their phone, hoping like, do me next.
What do you think they wanted their phone smashed?
No, they probably use a fake phone, right? Like Isaac used to. He used to not care because they were his friends' phones that he had.
Isaac. Oh, God.
Oh, but that shit made me laugh so hard. And that's immediately what I thought of when you were telling me that. Yeah. But I didn't want... I don't want to be like, here's what you should have done to be the funniest thing ever. But this lady, like, you said she was there by herself. Yeah. She's texting the whole time. Like, go. What are you doing?
Get out of here. I know. It's so weird. That's why big shout out to the clubs that have what are they called? It starts with a Y. Yurt bags.
Whatever the bags are you zip the phones into.
Yeah. And it's a shame that it's even come to that. Like, we as a society should be able to sit through a comedy show and not be on our phones. But like, that woman, it's like, what would that woman have done? If she realized, she probably would have just not gone into the showroom. Yeah. She would have just been like, I would like my money back because I have to be able to text the entire time. Crazy. Anyway.
Yep. Do you want to tell anything else about that? Anybody else that came on through?
There's a clip that should be out by now. I think I will have posted it 2 days before this episode comes out. That happened. And then this I very much enjoyed. And this one was so sweet. She actually like apologized in the merch line afterward. And I was like, no. You were a bright, shining star in what was a shitstorm of a first 5 minutes. I do a joke talking about crystals right now. And when I started into the joke, there were some woos in the back. And so I kind of stopped afterward and was like, oh, we must have some crystal witches here. And this woman goes, I have 2 in my bra right now. And I was like, oh my God. And I looked down for what felt like half a second. And I looked up and she had walked all the way from the back up to the front, reached into her bra, pulled the crystals out and was offering them to me. And so anyway, there's like a whole crowd work clip out on that, but
that's fantastic.
That was a good time.
That to me is very funny.
It was very,
and if you could have had her rub those crystals together on her tits and form lightning to hunt that other girl down that was on her phone. Now we're talking.
Well, that's she was so funny. I go, so what about those crystals is special? Like, what are they supposed to do? And she goes, well, the black one is obsidian, which clears negative energy, which is why the bitch left. And we all went, oh, like.
Oh, it was the same show?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
That's
fun. She was very, very funny. So. Oklahoma City, some great, some weird, but we got through it, and here we are now.
Yeah, I had a show in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm not going to talk much about the show in particular. I believe that I am shitting on one group more than others, and I believe it has come a little combative. Oh, and so I'm going to fix that. Okay. However, before the show, which I think added to my combativeness, I tried to get some food off of Uber Eats. And I ordered it, and it said it was going to be 20 minutes. Yeah. And I was like, that's great. The car gets there. I'm like, this is awesome. Yeah. It's still, there's 5 lines that go across where it's like making your order. Yes. Food's done. About to get picked up. Everything's going great. And then all of a sudden, the car starts to drive away. And I'm like, well, what's this about? It didn't go to delivering your food. Okay. And so now I'm wondering what's going on. And then I get a text, it took too long, had to leave.
What? It's like, what else are you doing? You're on the clock. This is the only thing you're supposed to be doing right now.
Well, maybe she had another order. I don't know. But the thing is, then I was like, okay, so I'm going to cancel the order because now it's going to take, it moved another 20 minutes on the clock. Yeah. And so I go, I'm online with the fucking robot. Yeah. Where... it takes 30 seconds to type in the explanation of what's happening, and then it goes, I didn't understand that. Please pick from this menu. And you're like, it's not on the menu.
Yeah. It never is. Whatever has happened for you to require needing customer service is never on the menu.
Yeah, the fucking menu is you love it or you like what's happening. And it's like, neither. Yeah. Put I hate it on here and I need your help. And so I'm like, would like to talk to a human. Yeah. I don't understand. That's not on the menu. It's like, I would like to talk to a human, cancel my order. we cannot cancel your order because the driver has been dispatched. And I was like, the driver quit.
Yeah. Driver's gone.
Yeah, driver quit. So I need you to cancel my order. Can't do that because it's dispatched. I go, let me talk to a human. Over and over and over and over. I don't understand that request. So then I put, this app is fucking trash. I will never use it again. Then, ... waiting, transferring you to a live representative.
No way.
And I'm like, that's what it takes? So this is what's happening, right? Mm-hmm. You go, I try to be nice, and I try to be nice, and I try to be nice. You're telling me the only thing that gets this done is me saying this app is fucking trash? Like, I have to get so mad that I curse. So finally get transferred, talk to the person. And when you talk to a human being, it's so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
And you go, here's the situation. And they go, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I can give you 20% credit and we can continue this order. And I was like, I can't. I have to go to work.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, yeah, I'll just cancel it then. Sorry about the inconvenience. And I was like, there you go.
And so then you're not only frustrated from what had happened, but now you're still hungry. And now you have to do a whole show and a meet and greet.
I was hungry, but I think it comes to it's like, imagine the dipshits that they have to talk to if they don't vet that.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's like, can I talk to a human? And they go, how can I help you? And they go, I didn't get any napkins.
Yeah.
The food is delicious, but what am I to do with these greasy hands? I mean, I would fucking murder someone. So it's like, I understand why they can't let everybody go through.
Right.
Right? I mean, if you've gone through Yelp reviews, it's so insane. It's like 1 star and you go, oh, I wonder why it's so bad. And they go, food was delicious, but I'm on vacation and I thought this was a place you got to sign a $1 bill and stick it on the wall. And it isn't. And it's like, that's the 1 star?
Yeah.
Fucking sign your $1 bill, dummy.
We went to Margaritaville because we love Jimmy Buffett and we didn't even get to stand on the counter and sing. But I loved the chicken fingers. Anyway, 1 star.
Ronald McDonald isn't real. 1 star, even though that probably should get 1 star, but still. All right, I gotta tell you some stuff.
Okay.
All right, so I even brought this little guy out. So at the Fargo show, you okay?
My microphone's being a fuck and just gonna faint. Gotta make it work.
At the Fargo show, this lady doesn't have her.
Sorry, our cat.
Now the cat wants to get out.
Yeah, she's gonna.
When have you ever wanted to get the fuck out?
Sorry, please proceed.
I shut the door so Poe would stay in here, and now you all of a sudden, for the first time in the history of our podcasting,
come back
need
over
to
here.
leave.
Come back over here. Keep going.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
I know we're being tested today.
I don't care. Leave it all in.
Oh, I know.
So, anyways, it's Paradise City by Guns N' Roses is the ringtone, right?
Of what? What's back up?
So I'm at the show.
Okay.
This lady, her phone rings.
Okay, during your show.
Yeah. And
Take me down to the
Paradise
City. Okay.
And I know her.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people at this show. She works at the Viking Cafe in Fergus Falls, my favorite breakfast place.
Oh my God.
In the history of the world, it's my favorite breakfast place. And so she works there.
Wow.
And she has worked there forever.
Okay.
And it's Paradise City. And I make a joke. I'm making a joke like, I go, you want to answer that? And she goes, I don't need to. And I go, well, shut the fucking ringtone off. We're almost at the bridge of the song, lady. She was just going to let it ring out. And I go,
oh God.
I'm going to tell you something. If I had that ringtone, I don't think I'd ever answer right away because I love that song. Yeah. And so whatever, we're talking. Then the next day I go to the Viking Cafe. She is not there.
The cafe.
The Viking Cafe.
That was so fancy the way you said it.
Because it's a fancy
place. The Viking
Cafe.
Cafe.
It's a very, very fancy place.
Okay.
And she's not there. She's taking the day off because she knew she was going to get up to Fargo party a little bit. Mm-hmm. And our server comes over and he's got his little notebook out. And then all of a sudden, Paradise City starts playing.
On the speakers?
He's got his phone in
What?
the book. And he goes, oh, I'm so sorry about that. And my mom goes, that's fine. And I go, that is so funny. I know what's going on. Because it was the talk of the Viking Cafe that this happened to this lady.
No.
So he comes over and plays
Shut
Paradise City
up.
on his phone. It was so funny to me. And he was just like, you got it right. And I was like, yeah, I got it. It was hilarious. Now I'm laughing. And my mom goes, wait a minute. Oh, from last night. And you're like, there you go.
I can completely see all of this.
I mean, it was a lot going on at the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, that made me laugh really hard.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So this
Jesus
is
Christ.
One of my favorite things is I ended up at the American in Fergus Falls to get some coffee. And so
some meth.
And some meth. So I'm out getting some coffee, and I hear this woman going, well, are those the falls? There has to be falls here. It's called Fergus Falls. And so I go, hey, yeah, there are falls. Those aren't it. She's looking at a picture, and I go, those aren't the falls. Yeah. But they're downtown, and Fergus Falls was is known for Otter Tail Power Company, and they started using the falls for the power. That's how this whole place got started.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, that's so interesting. It's, I wonder if it's beautiful like the falls in Spokane. And I go, how do you know Spokane? And she goes, I'm from there. And I said, and there's 3 of them. And I go, my girlfriend's from Spokane. And she goes, oh, really? And I go, yeah. Her name's Kelsey Cook. She's a comedian, just in case you ever want to go to the show. Aww. And the other lady, the younger one, goes, I know who that is. I've read something about her. And I said, yeah, that's my girlfriend. And she goes, no, her boyfriend is also a comedian. And I said, what? That's what I said to her. I go, what? What does that mean? And she goes, well, I read that her boyfriend's also a comedian. Unbelievable. I need to go call her. And then I left and went out to my car to get going. No. And that was it.
No, please tell me.
And then I came back in.
Okay, thank God. Christ.
I came back in and I said, I am the comedian. And they go, the guy.
Clearly from my exit and entrance.
The guy who was reading
bit.
the paper,
yeah.
The 2 women didn't laugh. The guy reading the paper goes, I figured. Hilarious. And then he goes back to reading the paper. I'm going to take it as he meant it. Okay. I really do think he meant it by the look.
Funny?
They were like, oh, you, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it was like, one of them was older.
Okay.
Like significantly older.
Yeah.
And so, whatever. Now, here's something that I got.
That's very fun.
Yeah,
Chad told me that he was saving a couple stories for the podcast, so I have not heard these.
So here's another thing. So I get a lot of gifts, and I've been told by some people that I am not great at telling every single gift I get. And I understand that. I'm talking to the listeners now. I know that that's true because I don't want to bore you with all the stuff, and I start feeling weird about it. But I do have to say this because this is part of the podcast. So that's why I'm bringing this up. I did get a gift. Which
I also have not seen yet.
Yes.
Big reveal.
That's correct. You have not seen it. And this is from Miranda and Zach. Okay. They made the frame. Zach made the frame. It is a fake tour poster, a show poster of the band The Gleep Glop and the Floop-de-Doos, featuring Chad Daniels and Kelsey Cook. And it says March 14th, 2025, Fargo Theater, first and last show. So that's it. One show run, Gleep Glop and the Floop-de-Doos.
Shut up. I love it so much.
I laughed really hard at this.
You guys.
I laughed very hard at this.
Thank you so much.
There's also some other stuff in there, but I'm going to tell you, it didn't have to do with the podcast, so I'm just going to, thank you very much. It was awesome. God. She hasn't seen the rest of the gifts yet because I didn't want to spoil anything, but...
oh my God, I want to see. We have to put this up on our wall in here. This needs to be it somehow in the background. That's so cool.
I'm sure everybody listening just goes, yeah, why don't you put it up there in 2032 with the rest of it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, do it.
We did. just a few hours ago make a fantastic purchase from a furniture store. We got a real great couch that we're going to sit on together and stare lovingly into each other's eyes, because we've heard from you guys. We have heard that you don't like these new chairs, that it feels too like formal and like
it is
like we're interviewing one another. It doesn't feel like we're a couple. And frankly, these chairs suck ass. I'm not gonna lie. These are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We got them on Amazon.
I love
cool.
a good ass sucking, so I'm okay with the chairs.
Ass sucking?
You said they suck ass.
Suck ass.
I am good. Oh, wow.
I'm a little slow today. Just let me be.
Just go ahead and write in with your credits. Just looking for a podcast partner that can understand what I'm saying.
Shut up.
But anyways, this thing's going to be great because it's perfect for, it's really going to look like it's a hangout.
Yes.
And just we're chit-chatting, and then we'll still be, everything else is going to be the same, including this wall probably will not be changed.
Yeah, we're going to do our best. Anyway, I think you guys will like it. I think it's going to look cool. It's going to be a better vibe, and these chairs are going to go sit in a downstairs room until we have like people over and need extra chairs to watch the game. But
yeah, we're going to be like, hey, who likes to be uncomfortable?
I don't care for them.
Because we've got some chairs. All right, ready?
Yep. Trivia.
If we dare!
Our first trivia back since our argument/heated discussion.
My friend that I met in 7th grade, Heather, she listens to the podcast, and she was begging Alexa to turn it off because she was so uncomfortable.
God, those are the emails that are hard to read for me when it's like, God, it was weird. It was so uncomfortable. It was like, I hate.
This is real life, motherfuckers. Buckle up. Alexa, fake an argument.
We have gotten a few more emails about the fight. But,
right.
Might have you read them if you want.
Oh, I don't care.
But we're not going to keep going about it on the
Okay,
show.
here we go.
Yes.
In the movie Speed, what actor and actress drove the bus that would blow up if it dropped below 50 miles per hour?
I have not seen it, but I know it's Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves.
That is correct.
Thank you. Okay. In what 1985 movie did Chevy Chase play an investigative reporter who goes undercover to track the drug trade in his community?
I don't, Fletch.
Yeah.
Does that count? Can I do that if it's my own thing? Yeah. Okay, testing the border. I'm testing my line. Okay.
You do whatever the fuck you want with yours.
This all-in-one organizer was used by most 80s and 90s kids and included folders, pencil pouch, and a list of measurement conversions no one used.
Oh, heavens. What's that called?
That's what I'm asking you.
Trapper Keeper.
That is correct.
Oh my God. I had to really dig deep to the recesses of my brain to get that one. Okay. What music countdown show with hosts like Marilyn McCoo and Andy Gibb featured dancers who wore lycra unitards and slinked through the songs?
I don't know.
Solid Gold.
Yeah, I think that's,
before your time.
Well, maybe not, but I was very, very young when that happened. That's what's hard about me getting the Gen X questions.
Yeah.
Because 10 years had gone by before I was born in Gen X.
Yeah.
I'm what do they call it? A zennial?
Oh, I haven't even heard
Where
of
it
that.
starts with an X and then ennial. I believe that's what I am.
Okay.
Because I think it goes from 75 to 82 or something.
Makes sense.
What band released the albums Achtung Baby and All That You Can't Leave Behind?
Oh, Christ.
Is that your final answer?
Oh, people are going to get mad at me. Is it U2?
It is.
Okay, good. Whew. In the Men at Work song Down Under, a man smiled and gave him what to eat.
Well, I always used to think it was a Mennonite sandwich, but I think that's eating people. So that you can't do that unless you crash a plane in the Andes. I think it's a Vegemite sandwich.
You're correct. Good job.
What space shuttle on its 28th mission broke up on re-entry, killing all 7 crew members in 2003?
You have a joke about this.
I do not have a joke about this.
Oh, okay. The U.S. Navigator. I don't know.
That is incorrect. It is the Columbia.
Shit. What's the one you have?
My joke about the Challenger, Space Shuttle Challenger. When I was in 6th grade, there was this nationwide search for teachers to go on this thing, to go up, and they were going to teach a lesson from space.
Oh my God.
And one of my teachers, we had team teachers, right? It was Mr. Zozel and Mr. Ellis. Mr. Ellis was in the finals to go. And then we were listening to it, and it exploded, and radio went silent, and Mr. Ellis started crying, and then we were all like, what in the fuck is happening?
Oh my God.
Are we getting a dose of real life right now? And we were.
That's terrifying. Whew. In 1984, what woman was the first to be listed on a major party ticket for vice president?
1984. Geraldine Ferrara.
Nice job.
Thank you.
It is technically Ferraro, just so you know. But
Ferraro. Yeah, she was with Walter
give it to
Mondale, and they only won the state of Minnesota, I think, against Reagan.
Oh, wow.
I believe that's right. Okay, 2-2. Money was sometimes referred to as what type of cheese?
Cheddar.
Do you see? Do you see? It is cheddar.
What is this? Do you see?
I'm ready for mine. I need this one to tie.
Okay, what did that mean?
That was I started something and then stopped it on purpose. Please read me my question.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pretty soon, I'm going to be able to do it without even saying any words out loud. I can't wait.
Finish the 1980s PSA that included eggs and frying pans. This is your brain, blank.
This is your brain on drugs.
That is correct. Nice job.
Thank you.
We did it.
Well,
by the grace of God.
We're not done yet. By the grace of God. Now you are going to start a fucking argument.
I'm not religious at all. I just think it's funny sometimes to say like super Christian things. Okay. Chad hates it more than anything.
I don't hate it.
I think it's just pretty funny.
We've talked about this.
I can't remember what you said, but.
If you love a book and love the rules in it, live by it.
Yeah.
Not my book. Stop telling me to live by the rules in your book.
Right.
That's it.
Why are you saying that to me?
Oh, I thought that's what you were asking. Why? Like I said, I don't hate. You said I know you hate it. I don't hate Christian stuff. I think everyone should do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But then I just don't want to be told that I have to live by a book that I don't.
You don't want it pushed on you.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to get me pushing it. I just like to say those things occasionally. Okay. Guys, we're going to read some. Oh, we have to promote some tour dates. I'm so sorry.
Hit him by the land down under.
Tonight, as this episode comes out on Wednesday, I'm at the Houston Improv for one night. It's going to be great. Please come. And then I'm at the Dallas Improv or the Addison Improv Thursday through Saturday this week. And my rescheduled San Antonio shows from when I had the flu, those are in May. So just a lot of Texas shows coming up.
That's right.
And then
go to both.
Yes, please. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be in Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Improv. And then Chad and I do our 3-city run together. Long Island, New York, Montclair, New Jersey, Philly.
Let's just call it Philly.
Parks Casino.
April 10, 11, 12.
Yes. And then I go to Portland, and I go to Tacoma before then. Tacoma, Portland, Atlanta, San Antonio, Columbus, Cincinnati, San Diego, Pittsburgh. Lots coming up. KelseyCook.com for tickets.
I'm going to be in Tempe this weekend at the Improv. I'm going to be doing a lot of golfing. And then, what's after that? I think right away then I go do the thing. April 10, 11, 12 with you. And then I can never remember what's after that. But I know I'm going to be in Winnipeg, Manitoba, May 2nd and 3rd. Very stoked to go back there. Have a lot of good friends there. Very excited to go back. And then May 8th, maybe. Yeah, May 8th, I'm going to be in Cleveland. 9th and 10th, I'm going to be in Cincinnati. 16, 17, I'm going to be in Irvine. And then we'll be in Pittsburgh. Those tickets are not on sale yet, but that's June 21st.
They are on sale.
Those tickets are officially on sale.
Yes, they're not on your website yet, but I just added them to mine yesterday. So come grab them on my site if you need them. It doesn't benefit me more than Chad. Okay, and we are going to be doing a bonus Patreon after this episode. So if you're not on Patreon yet and you want more show, patreon.com/pretendproblems. A lot of fun episodes over there.
Yeah, just get over there. Help us pay for this new fucking couch.
Over there. Yeah.
Right? Everybody yells at us for having these stupid chairs, yet I haven't seen one Venmo come through.
Okay. pretendproblemspodcast@gmail.com if you want to write in. This is titled Babies and Grinders, not to be confused with baby grinders.
Babies and grinders, babies and grinders, babies and grinders.
That's a nice vibrato.
It's an Adam Sandler. Hoagies and grinders. It's Lunch Ladyland.
Oh, I got you. Hi, Chad and Kelsey. I've been a listener since day one and finally took the plunge to join Patreon.
Very kind of you.
Hey, thank you so much. I have been binging the episodes and genuinely cannot get over how funny you two are. You've been in my ears constantly, and that feels strangely intimate. Can I call us friends now? Anyways.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Careful what you get into with Chad, okay? The reason I'm writing is the baby debate constantly going on in my head. For context, I'm 28 and have been married for 4 years. It feels like every human around me is making more humans and that I should be procreating too. My husband and I are content right now, happy with our 2 dogs, love to travel, and adore our nieces and nephews. My husband would be a phenomenal dad as he's the most patient man I know, and I like to think I'd enjoy being a mom. We have had discussions about seeing ourselves with a family later in life. However, I'm feeling uncertain on if I want kids at all, and I'm terrified of making the wrong, in air quotes, decision. The idea of caring for a tiny human is terrifying, and I don't know that I want to give up our freedom. How do I decide on this? Maybe I just need to go with the flow? I'm not sure if this is me asking a question or simply venting. I know other listeners have had similar thoughts, so I understand if you don't read this. I saw Kelsey at Acme last year, Diet Cum bracelet. Thank you. You're wonderful. And I can't wait to see Chad and Fargo. Yeah, bud, this week.
Whoa, you were just there.
I'll bring you a grinder and white sauce if you ask nicely. Keep being hilarious and genuine.
What the fuck? How did we not read this before? This is you on putting me on a secret diet plan.
Oh, heavens, shush. Keep being hilarious and genuine. You bring the perfect balance to this show, and I look forward to new episodes so much. All the best. Sierra, thank you.
Sierra, did I talk to you at this Fargo show? I didn't hear anything about a hoagie and grind. I have a joke in my hour right now that is about as divisive as it can get. A lot of people think it's so funny and a lot of people fucking hate it. And so I'm working on how to fix that. But are you one of the people that hated it and that's why I didn't talk to you and I didn't get a hoagie with white sauce? Anyways, here's what I think. And it's a grinder with white sauce. But here's what I think. Early on in this email, you said, everybody around me is making more humans, but right now I'm content. We love our 2 dogs and we love our nieces and nephews. To me, I was going to interrupt her to tell her that's enough. I didn't need to hear anymore. Because that, to me, is your answer. I believe that you have answered your own answer, or answered your own question. There is no reason for you to bring another mouth into the house to feed because your friends are doing it. There is, I mean, I understand wanting to see your husband be a father if you think that that's going to be something that you just fall in love with. Of course. But I think right now you said you're content, and I think that's like, to me, that's it. Yeah. You know how many people in this world are not content right now? It's got to be the majority. So I think if you can find it, fucking hold on tight. And then when it goes away, then you can go, all right, now what are we going to do? Now what's going to make us happy in this stage of our life?
Yeah. I understand that pressure of knowing like you don't have forever to decide this. And you're 28. That's a tough age because it's like you still have some years, hopefully. Like I don't know, where you're at genetically and all that stuff. But theoretically, you still have time, right? But you're not like 20. So I understand that you're feeling this pressure. And I know for me personally, I was not in a place of like, I need a baby or I need to have kids to complete my, like, if I don't have those, I will be unhappy. I didn't feel that way. And I have seen through like TikTok and just like, I don't know, people in my life who have kids. And I don't want to say it was the wrong decision, but I think if they could, like knowing now what they know after experiencing what it is really like to have a child and like a young child, that they would maybe have gone, you know what? I actually was happy enough. Like what I had was enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fear for a lot of people is, well, I'm content now, but will I be in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years without kids? And you see a lot of people who have kids and they're like, my life was not complete. These children have changed my life for the better in every way. And that's what's hard, is there's like no hard and fast rule with having kids. I think it's such a personal decision. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know until it is too late.
Yeah. And one more thing, just to let you know, like where everybody's head's at. I can promise you, I can tell who parents are. And it's not by how they act. Mm-hmm. And it's not by the kids being with them. It is their answer to the question, have you ever almost driven off the road on purpose? And exclusively the answer is yes for parents. So it's like, that's what you're getting into.
Yeah. I'm curious how young your nieces and nephews are. And if you are really feeling like, ooh, I would like to make this decision somewhat soon, if you can ask your siblings or siblings-in-law if you and your husband could like watch them for a weekend, like an extended period of time, mm-hmm. and really try to get an idea of like, this is what day-to-day looks like.
Right.
It's not just like a fun hang. It's like, these are people who are dependent on me completely.
Okay. Yep.
No, go ahead.
Nope. I don't think I should.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Look at that. I'm getting closer. Before you know it, I won't even be making a face.
And it's hard, like, you're a woman. You would be carrying this baby. Like, you have to think about if you want to go through those changes with your body and the health risks and all that stuff. Like, do you feel as a dad that you're somebody who, when you had kids, you're like, like if you did not have your kids, do you think you would have felt fulfilled? Or do you feel like...
Well, I don't know that I would have felt fulfilled or would not have. I think for me, it was, I needed it.
That was a need to be a dad?
I needed to be a dad. I think it was very good for me when it happened. Mm-hmm. I think that I could have, there's a lot of forks in the road. Mm-hmm. And I think that this helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And I also think that I made a deal with myself a long time ago that I was going to have kids, mm-hmm. and I was going to make sure that this tradition of fatherhood that was in my family was ended. Mm-hmm. And so now, hopefully, I have given my son and been an example to him where if he chooses to have kids with his wife, that he kind of keeps going on that same path. So I just needed it to stop. I was like, the buck stops here kind of a thing, mm-hmm. where I'm like, this is it. This has to change. Now I could have done that probably without having kids. It could have stopped as well, because mm-hmm. then there would have been nothing, but I wanted to stop it in a positive way, not just the fact that it was over.
Right. So, and you felt a strong need your whole life to be a dad. Like that was a desire you saw for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so cool. It's cool that you just knew that always.
Yeah. I just really wanted to make sure that it was different.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
Here's what I was going to say. Before you have a child, I can't keep it, but I'm wording it differently.
Great.
Before you have a child, ask yourself, am I going to feel comfortable wearing a hiking headlamp to clean shit out of a urethra? That's something that you need to ask yourself, because you're in the fucking trenches in there. You need to know that. Oh, I'll change your diaper. Yeah, of course. And you always get the clean wipe, one scoop, everything's fine. But there's going to be a blowout. There's going to be shit in the back of your child's head. And it's going to go all the way down, and it's going to come all the way up to their belly button. And then you've got some choices to make.
At that point, don't you just put them in the bath? Is that a wipe down situation, or just we're starting from scratch, you're taking a bath? It's
like I hope you're ready to skydive, because we're going to need some high power winds to get this out of here.
Oh my God. Being a girl dad, I can't even imagine. Oof.
Yeah, that's why sometimes when, Olivia, when she had her first period, she was so surprised that I had those tampons for her. So if you don't know the story, I had every kind of tampon they had at the store, and I had it in the closet. And so I was like, this is it. This is all of them. So please, yours are in here somewhere.
All of the each.
Yeah. And she was really surprised by that, but it's, what you go through before they even know you're dealing with it.
Right.
I mean, it's not, you get some dads that are like, oh, I'm not going to change my daughter's diaper, and whatever, to each their own. I mean, weird. I think you need to step it up and do it and not be such a weirdo about it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So it's a lot. It is a lot. And,
Yeah.
That's it. I was going to say it's a lot, but there is no but. It's a lot.
It's a lot, period.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a period.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to read one more, maybe two.
Let's do two.
Okay.
I feel like I talked way too much at the beginning.
Oh, it's okay. So, excuse me. Gosh, you can tell that Mia's been on my lap. My throat's getting weird. Okay. It says, this is titled, Getting Latin Passionate in the Sky, Not What You Think.
Oh, I know exactly what it is. Latin passion. Well, yeah, it's getting mad, right?
Yeah. First, I'll weigh in on the passionate conversation since it seems to be the hot button issue. This is just a quick little thing about it.
Okay.
Whatever you call it, it's just growth. I think you're simply two people from bordering generations growing together. There's going to be growing pains sometimes, but calling back to advice that Chad gave me when I first wrote in, patience with the agreement that I'm trying. It's going to take effort to fill in the gaps, but it will take a few reps to change the behavior. I split the generation gap being a millennial that leans Gen X, and damn do I hate getting test trivia answers wrong and totally understand the feeling Kelsey has. But I also grew up in that ball-busting spirit where it's how we knew we were with our people. So I think it's fair to say it's just a learning/growth opportunity. You were talking about odd Lyft driver experiences on Ep 67. It made me think of a recent horror story while traveling that I had where a woman in my row on an airplane, confined with 100 people in a metal tube, decided it would be acceptable to unpack a loose McDonald's meal from her purse and dine. A burger, fries, and a drink not contained in a McDonald's bag. So she took all those things out of the bag. They gave her stashed them like she was sneaking them into the theater. I think the fact that she gorged like a squirrel digging into a winter stash of acorns made everything else stand out as just absurdity. Not only did it smell as it had maybe aged for several hours, but audibly it was disgusting. Cheers to noise canceling headphone technology. We used to all wear suits and dresses on an airplane. What happened? I still hold that I'll pay whatever to fly on an adults only dress coded airline with a set decorum. I'll do the legwork if you know any investors, but I digress. I'm sure that that McDonald's smell is so potent, and I get it, but it also made me go like, oh, do I do anything like that? I feel like sometimes I would maybe do something like that.
Here's what I think.
Okay.
Are you asking me if you do stuff like
that?
Sometimes.
Like what?
Well, you'll unpack food that, has an odor that probably not everyone wants to.
On the airplane?
You have.
Oh, like what?
Oh, I don't remember specifically, but I remember sitting there thinking like, I wonder if she can't smell this.
Oh, no. Oh, I'll be better.
I'm not saying you need to be better. I'm just answering your question.
Oh, I know
because I didn't even say one word to you when it happened.
I know, but I'm like, God, what was it?
That I don't remember. It was like you just brought a bunch of shit on there, and then you had something from somewhere in the airport. Yeah.
It's hard. We travel most weeks. I know you're not coming at me. I'm giving an explanation of like.
Just as long as everybody's clear that I do not need an explanation. didn't say a word when it happened.
No, I'm just.
And you asked me a question and I answered it.
I'm just saying on behalf of this woman, I'm hungry when I travel. You got to eat. I don't know.
What about before you get on the plane? And this isn't I'm not arguing with you.
Sometimes.
Maybe. I don't know the situation. Here's what I'd like to say about this, if I may. I'd like to say that there are laws and there are rules, right? And I feel like there should be, like no murder. And then underneath in smaller print, but, right? If this happens, maybe. I think a dirty Sanchez, unasked for, should be illegal. Yeah. Familiar with the dirty Sanchez?
Sure.
Okay. I think that should be illegal, of course, because that would be crazy to go up behind people and give them dirty Sanchez. Now, if you have to smell their food for an entire flight, I think, I don't know, maybe you go, I smell you, you smell me. Dirty Sanchez.
Dirty Sanchez.
I'm going to let you finish eating because I don't want this to affect your meal. But when you're done, please understand, you can give me your upper lip or I will take it. Dirty Sanchez.
Well, sometimes I'm also not hungry, right? Like before I get on the flight, but then
are we still having your argument conversation?
Well, I'm just explaining.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this lady.
I just feel like I am this lady sometimes, though. Okay, now I'm a Kelsey on the streets and a Chad in the sheets type person. So to speak.
Sorry about that.
So to speak, where I will do anything to avoid confrontation in public, but goddamn, my windshield needs a therapist after the lashing I gave it in lieu of actually telling the person what I want to say. I've also learned, like Chad was saying about the grocery store fire lane parking, they're not going to change, and it's basically wasted breath they steal from you. Ooh, I like that.
I call it.
Well, yeah, take it. I'm just kidding. You need it. They steal from you. However, I think there eventually needs to be a line drawn in the sand to distinguish when you should or shouldn't say something, but I wouldn't have the slightest of where it is. I'm not the most perceptive person when it comes to social situations, obviously. We need legislation to institute some sort of penalty box of life. 2 minutes in the box for illegal masticating. Gen X just had a punch in the face or a smack on the shoulder to correct behavior in public. Now there's no measures for correction without legal action. Oh, you and this guy, you can tell you're exact same generation.
Yeah.
This kind of turned into an event more than a question, but hey, it's a pretend problem. In the spirit of trauma bonding, what is your worst on the road experience and how did you handle it? Cheers to the 50th, Chad from Ebenezer is how he's signing his name.
Thank you. I don't know what the worst is. I mean, there's just been like a lot of stuff on the road where I just go,
yeah,
what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, strangers, there's been so many things I can't even keep track. The one thing that just stood out to me is one of my very first ever road weekends in comedy. I was asked to open for a comedian who I barely knew. I don't think he still does comedy.
Mm-hmm. Give us a name so we can check. I'm just kidding. I'm just
tell you later.
I'm kidding. I don't need that.
Older. And I was about to get on the plane to fly to this airport, and then he was going to pick me up and we were going to drive to where this club was. And as I'm about to board, he goes, just calling to let you know, I have shingles. The doctor says I'm not contagious, but I just want to give you a heads up. I got a lot of sores on my face. And I was like, okay.
And you went?
And I went, I'm boarding the plane. I've been so excited. I'm like, my first comedy.
You ever seen Michael Jackson moonwalk? It's an option.
I know. And he picked me up, and this guy just had these like open, crusted, pussy boiled wounds all over his face, all over his ears. We were in this tiny car together. They were like flaky, and I just remember pressing my body as far up against the passenger window as I could and just being like, oh God, like that. Listen, I don't know what his financial situation was, and maybe he couldn't afford to cancel, but it's like, hey man, you got shingles. Your face is covered in open wounds. This is a crazy time to go on stage. And so that was,
did you fuck him?
That was,
damn it. I wanted to hold it longer. And I couldn't stop. As soon as I saw you laugh, that made me laugh. Son of a bitch. I really wanted to hold a stern look.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God. That makes me giggle. All right.
Yeah, it was real gross. And again, I don't know if that person still does comedy, but I would say that's one of my worst on the road experiences.
I think, okay, I had some time to think. I think the worst one for me was, I was asked, so I picked my opener, and then I was nice enough to tell them like, hey, when you land, I'll come get you. And I picked them up from the airport, and I at the time had shingles. And this bitch like leaned way over against the thing, and I had told her it wasn't contagious. And now I feel like a leper.
We have reached over an hour, so we have to go over to Patreon.
Just kidding.
We'll get to more listener questions as always next time. And also we do a monthly big all questions episode on Patreon. So
we love you guys.
We love you guys. We'll see you over on Patreon. Okay, bye.
Bye.